hook or by the crook. All right, so for the monthly, I see basically two kind of things going on, right? So there is this kind of overall, there is a downtrend line that can be observed here, but then there's also what looks like, in my opinion, it broke and retested, you know, this downtrend line on the monthly. And there is a slight uptrend on the monthly as well. All right. So it's almost like a triangle. It came to an area where it's like, oh, this is just way too low for this pair in terms of price point. Which I think this could be honestly my weekly. So the one that I have here. So I have a monthly trend line that was going down, that was broken, and I have this slight weekly trend line that's an uptrend line for me. Okay, and then now that's what I have for us here. On the weekly, we have slightly, you know, higher highs being higher. We did have on our weekly right here, right? We had this price came down off this monthly level, which if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can see what I'm talking about. But we had this lower high at about 160, 162.25 thereabout, and then we had a lower low at what, 117.11. Then after that, price shot all the way up to about 196.266 to retest that monthly trend line, that downtrend line on the monthly. And then we had a higher low form right here at 125.08. Retested that area several times, 2-3 times before price shot up, breaking through the monthly trend line. And we have a retest. So we had a level here of a level that basically is a key level for me on my chart. And price got there and it was consolidating before it then broke through the monthly trend line and came back and retested that level, which is at 150.927. So basically price came to that level, 150.927. It's consolidated for some time and it was near that monthly downtrend line. Then it broke through the monthly downtrend line. Went all the way up to 172.32. And actually before that, it broke through the monthly trend line and went to about 168.139, then retested that level that it was consolidating at, 150.927, and then made a final high at that 172.324. And now it's kind of just moving sideways still. But we understand that structure was broken here in several ways. On the weekly, we're having upward pressure, and then we have this monthly trend line broken and retested on the weekly chart. I'm going to move on to the daily. Okay, on the daily, I have a clear uptrend. Clear uptrend on the daily. Okay. So here we are. And sometimes I start drawing my fibs from on the daily. I was doing it on the monthly and the weekly, but I don't think that's really necessary. So here I'm gonna start my trend line for the daily. This is my uptrend on the daily right here. Could draw it really tightly in, because that's honestly where the majority of price is. And that's what my mentor always says, draw on the majority of price. So I'm gonna, that just looks, that's my bad. Cool. So that's that. And because I know that this is my real anchor point for it, but I'm still gonna pull it through a little bit. This is my real true anchor point for this. I want to make sure that I line it up correctly. Although really, why am I going out there? Don't it? Because that's the, this is the one. This is the point to draw it from. Let's just draw it from where it should be. Okay, this is my point A, this is my point B, and then you see where price comes and tests. And actually, this is the wrong color because this is my daily trend line. Perfect. Just gonna see it a few more times to see what I see. Just gonna, play around with it a little bit. That's a bit wide for me. Let's see like this. See if I turn it down. That looks like, yeah. So I'm okay with it looking like that. Of several points where it touches. Okay, that's my daily trend line. And if I were to be drawing a Fibonacci on my daily, this would be my fib, just for reference. Okay. That would be my daily fib. Make sure that we're all lined up. Yes. Okay. So right now, as you can see, the weekly is on an uptrend. For me, the daily is on an uptrend. And I see here a break and a retest. So there's this high. There are several highs that have been retested. Okay. So right here, the price didn't quite come back here, but definitely price came here. So this price level is 149.001. At different times, like in the past, I want to say since 2021 through to now, price has retested prior areas that were resistant between 2018 to 2019. So prior areas in 2018 that were resistant from 2021 through to now 2023, price has retested as support. So those levels for me are at the just about that 148, 149.001 area, right? And then where did it retest again? Up here. 156.424. So price retested the lower level, that 149.001, and that happened in March 2019. It was resistance. 149.001 was resistance, March 2019. That same level was tested as support several times, and actually, because I can see that, I'm actually just gonna make this a tiny little zone. I don't really use zones on the daily, but just because it already got it already tested it. I'm not really necessarily looking for price to come back, but that level was tested so many times, like so many times. Okay. Okay, so that level was retested as resistance in April of 2021 twice, in July of 2021, in August of 2021, September of 2021, November of 2021, and then again in September of 2022, retested that same area as support. Okay, and it was resistance in July 2018, October 2018, November 2018, March 2019. So it's been around, you know what I mean? That area has been tested several times. Okay. And then the next area was February 2018. That was a peak high, a swing high in 2018, February 2018, at the price point of about 156.546. So let me add this point too, because it was tested. And like I said, I really don't use zones on this area, but just for like, I guess for my own purposes. So it was tested there as resistance, right? And then it also was kind of tested in that area. A little bit more. It was also retested in that area as resistance actually in October of 2021, January of 2022, February of 2022, and then it got retested as support. May of 2022. It was broken through, but didn't close. Let me zoom in. It was broken through, but then immediately, so it was kind of tested as support. The wick went all the way down to that prior low point that we're talking about, 149.001. But in that area of I don't remember exactly what point I said, but about 156, like 546 or something like that. That area was tested again. So May of 2022 tested as support. September of 2022 tested as support. January 2023, February 2023 tested as support. And then mind you, this is all kind of along this daily trend line. And I'm emphasizing this for my Spotify listeners because you're not seeing it, but all through there tested as you know what I'm saying, tested as support. Okay, so this is giving me the confidence to believe that, and where it tested that low is so close to where that monthly downtrend line is, and I can probably adjust it on a higher time frame. Let me see if there's any adjustment that needs to be made to see if it just really lines up perfectly with that wick. No, I think I'm comfortable with how it, let's see. Where did I have it? There. Is it exactly on this end point of the week? Let's make sure. Look at that. Actually, now that I have it exactly on that bearish candle that retests price on my monthly trend line, when I go back down to my daily, it lines up perfectly. It lines up perfectly. So we have right here a perfect break and retest of that monthly trend line. Perfect right there. Like a perfect break and retest. So that makes me even more like, okay, we were in a downtrend on the monthly. And to be honest, I think, and I haven't been trading this pair. I've been trading this pair since I was looking at it from last year. So I've been trading this pair since, I want to say, at least about October of last year. This was one of the pairs that I wanted to trade. And then now this is the only pair that I trade because I can see like the back of my hand. So anyways, yeah, so I have this perfect break and retest of the monthly trend line. And like I said, this pair is due for a bullish run because it has been basically on the monthly, it was in a downtrend since Adam was a boy. My downtrend starts from 2007 and goes all the way. It doesn't break until March of 2022. Like, hello? From 2010 to 2020, 2007, it's been on a downtrend. It's due. You get me? It's due for this. But anything can happen, right? So anyways, break and retest. it's hard. I mean, from that time frame, it's hard to really gauge because again, it is the monthly. It takes a month for a candle to form. But based on what I'm seeing here, okay, so from the weekly to the daily, we're still bullish. Okay, let's go to the 4 hour. Okay, then. Nice. So on the 4 hour, and I'm actually gonna hide this fib because like I said, I just put it there for me, really. So on the 4 hour, price has just been consolidating. It's been moving sideways, 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 okay? Lots of sideways movement. And I think I want to get this. This is good. Okay, so just one bag of sideways movement on the 4 hour. I don't have a real clear direction of a trend on the 4 hour. Not really when I look here. Well, this looks like a downtrend here. Okay. And then this almost looks like a change in direction. Comes back here to retest. So that's what I had. Let me see. So it's moving sideways, right? It was moving sideways. We have this, which looks like a down fib that was completed on the 4 hour. This would be the trend line. Go here, like this, and this is my retest. Ooh, okay. Let's see what we have here. Something else though. Okay. So right here on my structure, I have my prior structure ending there, right? So I previously had a downtrend. So for me on the 4 hour, I have a break of structure. So I have price moving from about 148,786, breaking the prior swing high of, so the prior swing high was just about 168.449. And when price finishes structure, a down structure, it finished at 148.786. Price moved from 148.786 all the way up to just about 172.189, breaking the prior high. Like I said, that was at about 168.449. So I have this break of structure here. Price bounced off the daily, right? Bounced off the monthly, bounced off the monthly trend line, bounced out of that daily zone, bounced off that daily trend line also, and went all the way up to that 172. So I'm gonna do my Fibonacci here. Okay, that's my Fibonacci. So I have that price. I have this in an uptrend, in an up move, from on the 4 hour, but I don't. For 4 hour is basically my overall structure, and I don't really have to basically like even adjust it too much because, and I'm actually gonna hide this fib because this is my actual trading chart. So I'm gonna hide this fib. For if you're on this, if you can see this, basically I was like I said, I've been watching this since October because I'm looking at this, I'm like, ooh, I remember when all of this was just happening. From all the way in October. I even remember this, but at this point, I was still trying to understand structure and stuff like that. So I remember this happening, all of this happening. So anyways, here we are. We have this high. Yeah, so 4 hours is my overall structure. And I don't really like mess with it too much. In terms of my trend line, I feel like drawing a new trend line here is a little bit redundant just because it's on this daily trend line. I could draw this as a little downtrend to see when it's basically a counter trend to see when does price break above it. So I am gonna put that there because I want to know when will price break above this. So I do see this downtrend here. This is some resistance up at this level. Go up and see what I see to my left. So right here, okay, it is at this key level where in the past price was like trying to figure out what it was gonna do. It had broken above it for a bit and then eventually came back down and sold. So that's why we have that rejection at this level up here. Okay. So make sure that I'm aligning this over right. I'm perfect. Okay, nice. So basically, this counter trend on the 4 hour, it's my counter trend line because it's not a counter trend. I just have a counter trend line. Like I said, it just feels a little bit like, do I really need this other trend line? Which I'm putting it there, but I'm like, sure, I might just be an extra. I'll leave it though. But basically, I have a triangle forming with the 4 hour and the the 4 hour counter trend line and the daily trend line. So I will be expecting price to break above based on my Fibonacci. So I have price pulled from 148.877 to 172.130. Then price retraced to right into my 61.8% zone, where the 61.8% fib level, where the daily zone is, and price tested that daily zone 3 times. And we look at these candles, it formed as support. Engulfing candle here. We didn't really get to engulfing here, but then we had this big shoot up when price got to that level right here. And we did have, yeah, I feel like this was a great area, but price still made its way up out of this zone. Then right here, price rejected and we had an engulfing again. And this right here actually looks like a zone for me here on the 4 hour. I'm gonna draw that in. Sorry, this episode is so long. I don't know what it should look like, but yeah, so we have this 4 hour zone where price was going through. This is, look, it looks so pretty. So right now on the 4 hour, like just based off just candles, looking at my candles, I have some bearish pressure when price tested the 4 hour counter trend line. Yeah, bearish pressure, pushing it down. Price broke through the 4 hour zone and came back and retested it, and it looks like it's going down. But I want to go on to a lower time frame to really see what is happening in this down structure. Okay. And let me see if I even want this 4 hour. I might just hide this because fibs can just, especially because it's 4 hour. I don't really keep. I want to make sure that I am aware of this 4 hour, but the 4 hour fib, but I don't want to be like distracted by it. Okay, so now here we are on the 1 hour, right? So 1 hour, in terms of this in terms of structure, right? This was my prior. This was price just consolidating here, moving sideways between this daily zone and this 4-hour zone, just sideways, sideways, sideways. Okay, we have a few structures all up and through here. For the 1 hour, there was this. So I don't know what that was. I'm gonna draw my trend line here. Can either draw it to the top or more so like here. Just trying to see what looks correct. I'm gonna draw it to the top just to give my thing room to breathe. That can be short. Okay, see, and that's the next thing too. It does look a little flat, but that's not up to me to like. I want that nice high point. I feel like if it were all the way up here, that would not be correct. But here, kind of gives me an insight. And then there is this, which I would not really, that's so crazy. How did I not see that? I did not see that last time. It looks so different coming back with clear eyes. So technically price there, hit 27. Hit 61.8 reverse. Now we had this push down. So like we still in a downtrend. OT. Like I said, price came and retested. So on the 1 hour, we're in a downtrend, right? We have the counter trend on the 4 hour going on, but on the 1 hour, we're in a downtrend. Right. So price could end up coming back into this zone. Hey, mommy. Good. How are you? You look good. You like your purple. Thank you. So, Mike. This feels like where it is supposed to be. The Zoom people hurt my mom. Okay. Okay, we're back. So 1 hour, we are in a downtrend. We finished one fib that completed. So to me, I could make this either be one fib or two. I want to see what it looks like for both. There's this, or I could do it like this as one. And so I'd still be expecting price to basically come back into this red zone here, my daily zone, and retest it one more time at about 156.08. Because right now I have no like highs really being broken. There was this little beanie high here, but this was not really a high, right? Price came, shot all the way down, came here, rejected off the daily, and pushed back up into this 4-hour zone. So it broke and retested this 4-hour zone. So I can either keep this as one thing or two, but I think I'll keep it as two just because I'll get to see that this is small for my 1 hour though. TBH. And then the chart that I trade off, but I want to see what it looks like because it looks small on this, but it may be the correct thing. Because you see where you have this came back here, retested, push down further, a new impulse to create a higher, a lower low. Price pull up. We have some consolidation. Mm, okay. Okay, so we're back. I'm looking at this and I'm trying to see what I see here. So what I see here is for my 1 hour, I do think that I will have this being here, this one here where it's this is where I more so see it. I'm not sure if I really see it going down back into that daily zone. We are still in a downtrend, right? But this is what I have here. So price goes from 166.016 to 161.622. Your price finds support in this zone, in this 4 hour zone. Then price pulls back just under the 61.8% level. Price makes it to negative 27%, then pulls back to that same level, but closes a little bit below, more so at that 50% level, at 163.819. Then price pushes all the way down and makes it to negative 61.8. On this, and then Zoom would have heard where I was kind of trying to see like, oh well, maybe still a downtrend where it's going back into that daily zone, but I honestly don't see it heading there. This is what I have for my 1 hour structure. So I believe that my 1 hour structure for my fib is complete. So technically price did break and retest the 4 hour zone, but it broke it, hit negative 61.8 on my 1 hour, and then I got this divergence right here. Okay, got this divergence right here. And price, it hit, came down to this level at 159.533, pushed up a little bit. And to me, that was kind of that was actually more so the retest. So if you're watching this, you can see this pushed straight down through the 4 hour zone. And I would say this was the retest. It didn't, if I just line up this zone a little bit more, probably, I won't even move it. It didn't really reach it, but this thing, I mean, we got this wick exhaustion before it pushed further down and wicked to hit 61.8, which is reversal plus divergence, and price pushed aggressively into the 4 hour zone, bullish, breaking that prior high. Okay, breaking that prior high of that break and retest of the 4 hour zone before it pushed to negative 61.8. So after it pushes negative 61.8, divergence, retesting that daily trend line, right? And it had so much, it pushed all the way down to 158.872, but the candle closed above at 159.551. Hello, extreme exhaustion. Sellers are out of the market at that area. Then price pushed all the way up into the 4 hour zone, where obviously some resistance, because that is a zone. Then price is cooling now. I expect it to possibly touch this 4 hour trend line, which I was hesitant about drawing. It could go there, but if you even come here, you see prices, there is exhaustion here. I have exhaustion here on my candles. I have this nice big bullish candle on the 1 hour. So I'm expecting, I don't have a on here. basically the last high was, the prior high was 161.507, and it's valid because it created a new low at 158.544. So this is a valid prior high. And then we have a change where price broke above that level, right? But it's still a downtrend. So I can't say like, oh, for sure. But let's see what I have going on. I enter off 15-minute for the most part. Right. So here I am, and I believe that this is finished. I want to just scoot that over a little bit. So in terms of 30-minute structure, there was a lot of goodness in here, in my opinion. We had here to here, right? We also had here to here, which price did not make it all the way where it should have, based on, some people know, some people don't know. But if you know, you know. Price didn't make it all the way based on where it went to. But that is also that's also an indication that price is ready to change trend, because what? It did not do what it did what it was supposed to do, but it didn't. So yeah. That's what I have here. Then my minute structures, which these are my 30-minute structures. The 15-minute structures would have been this. That would have been a 15-minute structure. This right here would have been a 15-minute structure. Okay. And then this would have technically been a structure here. If you pull it back to here, it pushed, but this was support. Okay. Cool. So these look at 30-minute structures. I have two of them in here. And now I believe that this is our change of structure. So this is my new impulse, my new high, right? Price goes from 158.563 to 162.180. And right now price pulled back to the 50% level. And I want to see like, hey, what you finna do at this zone? What you gonna do at this zone, shawty? Okay. I'm gonna put my alert on here, because I wanna know when price is here. I don't see it going down, right? We had this push here. Go back 50%. And look at how it lines up perfectly. So this would be my take profit area, -27. Right where this 1 hour trend line, this 4 hour trend line meet. That would be my take profit area. So what I see happening here, I want to see, because this is kind of a support level right here. Okay. It's kind of a little support. Is price gonna come back in this support level or what? You know, what you gonna do? Did you get enough touches already? You see how price exhausted out of here, engulfing exhaustion again, engulfing bullish candle. Like, you know, it could come back here, but basically once I get a break and retest of this, then I'm holding it to this level. It depends. There could be, I'll show what I see happening. I'm basically, my entry chart is the 15-minute. So I don't really look at structure on the 15-minute too much, but I look at 15 for my entry. So here we have that there. But once I get my break and retest here, I'm really, I'll probably do multiple entries probably an entry into this zone. Once I get a break and retest, then because there is this resistance actually even, so this resistance to the left right here, and it comes back support, it lines up perfectly here. So if anything, I will probably get two entries on this, one to this trend line, depending on what I see in terms of momentum. And then my second entry is definitely after the break and retest. They will either break and retest the trend line, or it will break and retest structure, depending on how bullish it is. So if it's like super bullish and it goes like whoop, 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 you'll probably just get this. You didn't really see what I did. Let me see what my iPhone can use for that. Withdraw. Okay, so it will either be like super bullish and then pull back and then here, or it could just be like into the zone more so and come here like this and then come here. Those are the it can obviously still go here and then push back down. That's also a possibility. So any of these things is possible. That's why I said I would probably just take it, my first entry to the trend line, to where this zone is, and then see what it does in the zone slash trend line area to see, is it gonna push back down, or is it gonna break and retest and go further. So those are my analysis. And then the last thing is gonna be to, actually, I think I'm gonna keep these for my own intents and purposes, but I'm gonna do a let's look up bars pattern here of what I see. Something like this. Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I don't really need to keep these. So I'll keep the one going down just to remind myself that it can still come back down here. And let's see. So from here to here, that's already about 100 and something pips. Okay. And then the full move that I'm looking for, then the next move that I would look for is this, which is another 100 and something pips. So, we can make some nice little pips off this. So yeah, that's my analysis. Right now, I have a buy with an ultimate TP of 163.156, but the first buy, the TP is just about 161.54 to about 161,600. So any kind of where there, just depending, once you see any kind of rejection at this area, if I see any rejection, so here I have my point A, my 2 points, it could come again and give us a third point before giving the break and retest, is my estimation. So yeah, so that's what I said. My area would probably be just under like where this big old wick is, right here, like right in this area, 161.5. Oh, any of the, it just, you have to watch it. You see me? So yeah, so I may enter the buy to get here because it is still kind of low and we got this rejection here, and I would definitely capitalize off it from here to here. Like I said, you can get a nice look 85 pips. Hello? And then the next move I'm looking for is almost 200 pips, 187-ish pips. Just depends. So you know the vibe. You probably don't know the vibe because it's the first time I saw. But yeah, we're gonna watch out and see. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will give you an update. Okay, bye. Stop recording.